Welcome to this week's session of Brand Builders. We are here today with the founder of OG Hemp Goods, Stephen Eigenmann. So Stephen, I love this. You are an accomplished entrepreneur and an investor with a passion for industrial hemp fiber products. Your passion for learning new ideas about industrial hemp and researching new products has put you in a position to achieve sustainable growth and success with your new venture, OG Hemp Goods. Since 2019, you've been committed to growing the industrial hemp fiber industry in America.
Yes.
It's quite like the bold statement, my friend.
Had it not been for Brand Builders, I wouldn't have been pushed to really come out and figure out the mission and the vision and what I'm going to tell customers, because I was e-commerce mainly and didn't have a lot of traction with that. So, you know, getting into retail, it sped up how quickly I needed to really figure my company out.
Amazing. So talk to us a little bit about how you got started. What's your founder's story?
Yeah, and this goes back to kind of the founder video that I put together for the market.
Yeah.
I trace my love for t-shirts back to being like 16 years old. My first job was a retail clerk at Marshall Field's.
Okay.
And I learned about clothing, and I started to print t-shirts, and I printed t-shirts in high school, in college, through my 20s, a lot of concept brands, new ideas. Like
as your own business, or as some? Oh, okay.
Unofficially, I don't think I had a full company. I had an LLC, but it
was a side gig.
It was definitely a side gig.
Yeah.
But I got into screen printing and hanging out, learning about print shops and screen printing. And then as I got a little older, my passion for entrepreneurship developed, and I invested in a company that was in the organic cold pressed juice space. So I learned a lot about the power of organic food and also just what it means for products to be organic in the first place. Now, the shirts that I sell are organic. The shirts that I used to sell were not.
Why does it matter? Why do we need organic shirts? Why should we care about industrial hemp fiber?
Right. Well, what you wear matters, and we're starting to learn more about that as we look at microplastics and our water supply chain and what polyester materials are doing to our water cycle and our source of water. But fashion as an industry, fast fashion, is one of the largest polluters in the world. It's the third largest polluter by industry. It's up there with oil, it's up there with plastic.
People do not talk about this.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but it comes at a cost. Cheap clothing comes at a cost. And what I like to talk about is the longevity of our hemp fiber and how much stronger and more durable our product is. And that's where the price point is affected, because when you buy something that's more expensive, your hope is that it's going to last.
Right.
With hemp, it's going to last. It's proven to last. It's been used for thousands of years as a textile. It's only really recently that America got back into utilizing hemp as a fiber.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about kind of going back to the sustainability of the fashion industry, or in sustainability of the fashion industry.
Yeah.
And how does hemp really play a part? It sounds like it plays a part in this longevity piece. So this clothing is going to last longer.
That's right.
What about the other side of it, like the farming side of it? Does that also have an impact?
What's cool is hemp has this ability to pull the bad stuff out of the earth. So when you grow hemp, whether it's Minnesota, Denver, across the world, what it's doing is helping remediate the soil remediation. And one of the things that farmers like to do is use it as a cover crop. What that means is you're essentially like using it as your fourth season in a 3-season porch.
Okay, I like that. Good analogy.
You're just using hemp when you're not really doing anything else with your fields, but you want to rejuvenate it. So hemp, even if you do nothing with it, if you plant it and let it grow and let it compost in the field, it's going to bring nutrients back to your soil. So that's the first thing I like to say.
And then, from what I understand, and you tell me because you're the expert here, but hemp also doesn't require a lot of the same chemicals or pesticides or things, right? Is that true?
Yeah, let's talk about cotton versus hemp.
Okay.
So hemp comes from cannabis.
Yeah.
It's a weed. It grows quickly. It doesn't require a ton of water. It's natural. It just grows and grows and grows. One of the cool things about how dense hemp grows, it grows fast and it grows over like the field, blocks the weeds. Weeds won't grow in shade. So just due to the nature of the plant, you don't have to deal with as many weeds. Weeds, to get rid of them, you use pesticides.
Right.
Cotton is the responsible for over 50% of all the pesticides in America. Cotton for what we use for clothing. Hemp does not require pesticides. So no pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides. And all of those are for certain reasons, but the big one is pesticides.
Yeah.
And when we use hemp to grow for fiber or for clothing,
beautiful hemp we have
it right here.
Yeah.
No pesticides. So I feel comfortable juicing this because I know there's not chemicals. It's truly, it can grow organically and it doesn't require a lot of effort.
There's so many things I think happening in the hemp industry right now. I mean, this hemp fibers, hemp textiles is one piece of it.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, I think, a massive resurgence here. You know, CBD has obviously played a big role in sort of popularizing it a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know your mission is really bigger than that and really around the whole hemp plant. So like, talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we're here in Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. We have a huge farming community around our state.
Yep.
Hemp was one of the most commonly grown crops in our great-grandparents' and great-grandparents'
Yeah, up until
era.
when? When was it no
Really,
longer
like,
allowed to farm?
1937, they put a big stop to, they made it really difficult in 1937 to grow hemp. They taxed it very heavily. They made it really just not conducive for like a family to grow hemp.
Right.
Then the war of World War II happened, and the Japanese cut off our supply chain to the Philippines. We were still using hemp, but we were importing it. So our government importing fabrics and textiles goes back a long time.
Even though it was like native,
it was,
right?
Yeah,
like,
it grew like a weed.
Right.
Thomas Jefferson
we were
grew
importing
it. We decided to import it.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of push from tycoons like the DuPont Corporation and other people who had paper mills. Hemp can be used for paper. My business card is made out of paper.
Okay.
Hemp paper, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so there were forces on the industry that were pushing it out. And then 1942, they needed it. They were running out of hemp. The Japanese had cut off the supply from the Philippines. And so all of a sudden they launched the Hemp for Victory campaign, which was a huge foghorn saying, we need hemp, we need hemp. They put millions of dollars back in the day, millions of dollars even then, into Minnesota to have processing plants so that we could make rope for the war, so we could make sails for the war, for the Navy ships, their uniforms. All of this was made from the hemp plant back in the day.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So now we're here today, and you have launched this company. So tell us a little bit about how your products are made.
My products, right. Well, for the first thing, they're certified organic. Our hemp is organic and our cotton is organic. We use a blend of cotton and hemp, and that gives you the best of both worlds.
Okay.
It gives you the softness that organic cotton provides, but it gives you the durability and the unique performance that hemp provides.
And because it's organic cotton, we don't have to worry about all those pesticides and things you were talking about.
That's right, because they take care in how they grow it.
Right.
Now, it's grown in China.
Okay.
The hemp and the cotton and the factories are there, but they're ISO 9001 facility.
Okay.
The products that I sell are actually USDA bio-based preferred.
What does that mean?
Well, 98% of our product is biodegradable.
Okay.
So we're talking about maybe the tag not being biodegradable. But this shirt could actually be composted back into the ground and it would decompose. Kind of crazy, it works. And people have an issue with China, but the US gave up on hemp. So as a business owner, I don't have a supply right now in the US for hemp clothing.
Right.
It will probably be here in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
But I want to be positioned for when it does come, that I know a lot about the product, that I have relationships with people who like the product.
And you want to have your company established and a relationship built.
And when it happens, I'd love to be able to source hemp from the US.
Right.
For now, unfortunately, due to our history, we're not able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you have, several different products that you sell here in the market.
What's your favorite?
The hoodies, are you kidding?
Yes.
So you have both a zip up and a pullover hoodie, and I love them both because they're really like wearing a cuddle. Like, they're so soft, and all I want to do is just kind of squish up in them.
You know what's cool is a hoodie might be soft when you get it.
Yeah.
You wash it a few times, it loses its like super soft appeal.
Right.
With my products, they don't do that, which is really cool. I think it's part of the durability of the length of the hemp fiber.
Right.
Let me tell you one thing. So hemp as a fiber is 6 to 10 times longer than a cotton fiber. A grade A cotton fiber is about a 1/2 inch long.
Okay.
A hemp fiber, a grade A hemp fiber, could be 10 inches long. And so what I notice about that is just the length of the fibers, they shape to your body.
Yeah.
They will overall hold their composure longer. It's length equals strength. Yeah.
Like strength. Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
There's several other benefits to hemp, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us about like why this is different. I know one of kind of like the showstoppers that you like to show people is how it's fire retardant.
Fire retardant.
Yeah.
What's not as easy to show on video is that it's anti-odor. So until we have smell-o-vision, it's going to be tough to showcase that.
Yeah.
I learned it easily last summer when I was working. I worked in a warm, hot food environment, and I was able to wear the shirt for the night, come home, hang it up, and the next day it didn't smell like a restaurant. And I was like, this is crazy. I can wear this shirt over and over again. Now, not only does it last longer, I can wear it more between washes, and because hemp has
which is also better for the planet.
Better for the water throughout the entire process. So growing hemp, less water. Wearing hemp, don't have to wash it as often. When you're washing hemp, it doesn't require as much water. It dries quickly. You don't have to run it in the dryer as long.
Fascinating.
And it's just uniquely positioned to not stink.
Wow.
It's the perfect bachelor shirt.
That's so good.
It is.
So it's also SPF too, yeah?
Right. So for those that are outside a lot, a 55-45 blend of hemp and cotton gives you SPF 15.
That's amazing.
100% hemp fiber, like the hemp hat I have, gives you a hemp SPF of 50.
Right.
So I'm protecting my head, I'm breathing, so I'm not getting sweaty while I wear this outside, and also it doesn't stink, so it's not like a sweat-drenched baseball set.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it's really a performance fiber, right?
Right, and that's the hurdle I want to get through. I want to position myself to, at some point, to serve the athletic industry. We see a lot of athleisure right now.
Yeah.
We see a lot of like performance, like wearing performance wear to the grocery store. Unfortunately, those products are made with synthetic materials like polyester.
Right.
And the process of creating that is actually a sludge-like process, and then it's shaped. And unfortunately, a lot of what's cool is not cool when you see how the sausage is made. And so, as I develop this company, I want to pull the wall back a little bit, pull back the lens, and show you what's happening in the fashion industry.
Right.
But doing it in a way that gives you an ulterior option that's preferred. You know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are disappointing in our world, but hemp is a bright spot to the future.
Yeah, it's so cool, Stephen. I really want to commend you for how you show up as a business owner.
Thank
so
you.
I've had the pleasure of really getting to know you over these last few months that you've been a part of Brand Builders.
Thank you.
And to watch your enthusiasm, your knowledge, and your passion for this, and to see how that's actually starting to translate to sales for you as you build this company.
Yes.
So what is that like for you?
For me, it's always been a part of my personality, but it's been having to harness it. You know, I always say that constraint breeds creativity. And so when you give yourself a lane to really be passionate about and you stay within your lane, people are going to notice.
Yeah.
If you're passionate but you're all over the place, it's harder to follow. And so I've really spent time this summer working to really develop a lane and develop a cadence of really educating consumers. So, you know, we're only about halfway in, so there's still opportunities for me to keep growing. And I always tell people, you know, keep going, keep growing, keep learning about yourself. And I love the human element of Brand Builders. You know, we're here at Keg and Case.
Right.
Like if I'm having a rough day, I'll call somebody, and that energizes.
Shifts the energy, right?
Yeah. So I love just communicating and networking in this space.
Right. So you do a lot really kind of in the social space and helping to build your brand. How has that contributed to your business? Are you seeing a direct correlation to what you're doing and putting out on social content?
It's certainly not negatively affecting me.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the cool things when you build community is that you're kind of storing up like tokens for like opportunities in the future. And t-shirts, I've noticed, are a hard thing to sell because there's one of every size and you have to fit the right person.
Right.
But with community, if you can be inclusive and include everyone, people eventually are going to come around and find the product that works for them. But also leading with something that's not a product, leading with like a mission.
Leading with your why.
Yes, with my why. And for me, you know, to tie it back to last summer, I pivoted last summer and found an opportunity to stay engaged in the community and not be so isolated like many were. And I feel like that work last summer has led me to lead the Minnesota hemp community this year in a way that's really inclusive and allows for people to get involved.
So I want to know more about that, because I've seen the way that you have shown up in this community and really are starting to become a voice in this community.
Yeah.
And I think really a great communicator and networker. You're bringing people together.
Yeah.
So let's hear a little bit more about how you've done that,
right.
and the impact that you think it's having not only on you, but on furthering this mission of using hemp.
Right. I know part of that is like TBD, like I need to really focus on like the big parts, you know, manifesting.
Right.
And the cool thing is, as soon as I got back from my previous job, the investment in JuiceBot, I knew that I was going into the hemp industry. And so that was January of 19. And so I spent January of 2019 and 2020 really learning, listening. And then when it came to the start of this year, understanding the climate.
Right.
Hemp as a CBD product has had a really hard last 2 years.
Yes.
So zigging while others are zagging has allowed me to kind of uniquely position myself.
Right.
It's not great as an industry right now.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make it work, and there's people that want to show up.
Yeah.
And so utilizing Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, utilizing the social media channels that are out there.
Right.
Paying attention to what people are putting out there,
right,
and finding a way to share that content where they feel recognized and they want to be a part of things is really the key to success.
I'm really curious, as you're growing your business,
Yeah.
where do you see your lane in terms of who you're selling to, who's buying your product, and how do you continue to grow and evolve your business?
I think the mainstream market is not there yet.
Yeah.
But I think there are some opportunities to collaborate and bring the experience that I have and the knowledge I have of creating custom apparel and bringing that out and really seeking quality partners.
And so when you say partners, you're really talking other businesses, other brands, other organizations who will now partner with you. Is that what you mean?
That's what I mean. You know, if I look at CBD right now, there's not a lot of movement in that industry right now. But there are brands in that space that have developed a brand.
Right.
So they might not be able to sell CBD as much as they could sell branded apparel right now.
Right.
And if you look at the cannabis market on the West Coast,
Yep.
there are some brands that are charging $50 for a t-shirt
Right.
just because it has an iconic logo on it.
Yeah.
Now the shirt is not worth that, but it's the power of brand. And so tapping into high quality brands that want to match with high quality apparel is a unique opportunity, because I firmly believe that this is the highest quality t-shirt that I've ever come across.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you have experience because you've worked with t-shirts.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you really see that a big part of your business strategy is going to be selling your clothing to these companies so that they can now merchandise or put some other logo or something on it, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I would even go as far as even to consult for them in a way that allows them to really hold what they hold, which is their logo.
Yep.
But we don't even have to tell the customer, we don't have to lead with hemp.
Right.
We can lead with their logo.
Okay.
And once they see it, and if the brand quality matches the apparel price, that's gonna work. And then they're gonna be so enthused when they get it, because that product's gonna last.
Right.
And I'm working with brands that wanna be there in 10 years. And I can guarantee, or I can promise to them, that the apparel is gonna hold up.
That's so great.
I use a water-based ink process that's tested up to 50 washes without cracking or fading. So we're talking about a logo on the left chest here that's not going to like fade.
Right.
Because I don't want their brand to fade, and I want their apparel to be there, and I want them to be proud of what they purchased. I wanted an ink to match the quality of the garment.
Right.
I didn't want to just throw plastisol onto a hemp organic material. I thought there would be just like a clash.
Right.
And so what's interesting is you take a water-based ink onto a compostable fabric, and you get a perfect match.
I think this is really important. And for me, having come from natural CPG, I mean, brand apparel, brand swag is what every brand does it, right? Every brand has something, whether it's their employees who are wearing it or they're get out to retail, employees, staff members. And I can't tell you how many times I saw a brand use a material that was not in coherence with who they claim to be as a brand, right? So if a brand is organic and they're natural and they're into regenerative ag, but they come out with some synthetic tea, there's a disconnect there, right?
Yeah, I think unfortunately it boils down to convenience.
And cost.
And cost.
Yeah.
And so what most custom garment providers are providing is mainstream catalog. We're looking at Gildan, we're looking at Anvil, even next level apparel and like the softer stuff that's out there. That's a 60-40 blend. So we're talking about 60% poly, 40% cotton, or a mix of 55-45. What you're doing is you're adding plastic to cotton, and then they're running it through this sludge, which makes it soft. And it lasts, but it doesn't last in a nice way. It lasts in a way that plastic lasts, where it's not going to decompose.
Right.
It doesn't breathe well because it's plastic.
Right.
So what's unfortunate is you look at CPG brands, but I also look at like mainstream lifestyle brands.
Yeah.
These companies are selling a lifestyle.
Right.
They're selling a Minnesota lifestyle.
Right.
The image of trees, the image of lakes. Those are things that we need to sustain.
Yep.
We need to regenerate trees. We need to maintain lakes.
Yeah.
All they're doing though is buying a cheap garment with a regular print. So they're taking chemicals.
Yeah.
Those shirts are full of chemicals. They're taking plastic. They're printing on it, and then at the very end, they're twisting it to be Minnesota. Those shirts have nothing to do with Minnesota. I'm calling you out.
I love it.
At least here, these products are natural and organic. And so, if you're a CPG brand and you're a natural products brand, you should have a natural organic T-shirt.
Right.
Because that's what you're selling.
You're talking about integrity. Like this is really about integrity.
Brand integrity.
Yeah.
And also, I think the ROI comes back a year later, 2 years later, when you don't have the same requirement to purchase apparel because the stuff you bought 2 years ago is holding up.
Right.
I don't think people think about it like that.
They do not think about it like that. Well, we live in a society that's all about sort of, instant gratification and let's move quickly and we're moving on to the next, right?
Yeah. One last thing, the printer that I work with, I ship directly to them. So it comes from the manufacturer to the printer.
Great.
They open up the box of shirts, and one thing they tell me is that it doesn't smell like chemicals when they open it. The other providers, they open that up, it smells like chemicals. When they press the ink onto the shirt, nothing pops. It's pure. It's integrity. It's pure integrity. Right.
I think with a lot of t-shirts, you feel like the first thing you have to do is wash it, so you try to get that smell out of it. Right.
And then and then you have a host of problems still, depending on what the fabric is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So, Stephen, how do people find you? How do they get a hold of you? How do they buy your stuff?
Great. Well, Brand Builders is an awesome place to come see everything that we have.
I agree.
We're updating our inventory on a regular basis.
Yes.
The hats have been awesome. The t-shirts are great. We're bringing in more t-shirts.
Yep.
I'm developing a B2B site that's going to be called Hemp Goods Distribution.
Great.
And that's going to be a place where these brands that we're talking about can say, all right, I want a hat, or I want a hoodie, or I want a bag. Whatever they want, we'll work on a custom solution for them.
Great.
And then I have a retail site as well. So we're trying to serve multiple markets, but as I get more focused, I think I'll really figure out where I'm going to end. But for now, retail is okay. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But really what I want to do is I want to be a wholesale provider. I want to work with you. Whatever your strengths are, I want to bring my strengths and assist with the creation of custom apparel.
It's beautiful. You can reach a lot of people that way too.
Good.
Yeah,
yes.
Great.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Stephen. This was such a great conversation, and I am so happy to have you and our beautiful plant friends with us today.
We should juice them here sometime.
We totally should.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. So you guys, this was our session of Brand Builders. We talked with Stephen Eigenmann, the founder of OG Hemp Goods, and we are so excited to see you next week when we talk with our next founder.